Hi everyone, how are you? I am Jessica. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a fun video. It is my September show and tell. So I'm going to be showing you everything that I made in the month of September. And wow, did I have a big month. I made 7 quilts this month, 2 table runners, and 2 wallets. I'm not sure how I got it all done, but I did. Let me start showing you the projects. The first quilt that I finished this month is my Orbit quilt. This is a new pattern that I wrote. It's a combination of piecing and also applique. So the star blocks here are pieced, but these orange peel with diamond blocks, those are appliqued. I designed this quilt a few years ago. I had it saved on my computer, and when I saw this pretty fabric, it's called Moonchild, I thought it would look beautiful in this quilt pattern. Let me show you the whole quilt. And here is this quilt. Oh, I just love this design. I'm looking forward to making this again. I'm thinking about what kind of fabrics I'd like to use. I was thinking maybe a 2-color, a red and white would be beautiful. What I love about this is the way that these blocks come together and form a secondary pattern. So I love how it looks rounded and circular, and actually, I mean, it's not. So this is a square block right here, a star with a border, and the way that it's framed with these diamonds and orange peel pieces, it makes it look round. And I just really love it. I will link to this pattern below. It's in my shop now. It's a throw size. It comes together pretty quickly. I did hand applique these orange peel and diamond blocks, but you could also machine applique them. You could do like a zigzag stitch, a straight stitch, you could do a raw edge. There's a lot of options for you. And if there's interest, we'll do a quilt along for this in the future, and I can show you how to make these blocks. The next quilt that I made this month it's the second time I'm making this pattern. It's my honey quilt pattern. It's a really fun, beautiful, easy to make pattern. So these look like little cross stitch X's. In actuality, this quilt is made mainly from squares. It has triangles on the border, but the way that you lay the squares out gives it this beautiful look. So if you've never worked with triangles before, I think this is a really good kind of intro pattern. You do cut triangles here, setting triangles, and you do cut corner triangles, but they're very forgiving, and it might give you the confidence to tackle triangles in future projects because they really aren't that difficult to work with. So let me show you this whole quilt. And here is this quilt. I had these two, the Orbit and this honey quilt, at the bottom of my stack from this month, and they all have their fold lines in them, so I need to wash and dry them, and that will get those lines out. But this quilt pattern I actually designed a few years ago, and the first time I made it, I did a mixture of machine quilting and hand quilting. I machine quilted on the color sections, and then in the white sections, I hand quilted around each of the X's. It was really fun. I used a wool batting and it was beautiful. So this time it's actually a somewhat similar color palette that I used. I really love how these look. Now this collection, it could be used in sophisticated baby quilts, or like I use, this is a large throw. So it's called Little Swan. I'll put the fabric information for all of the quilts below, and I'll also link to all the patterns. So that's that one. The next quilt that I made this month used a panel. This is a nostalgic Christmas panel. This is from Riley Blake Designs, and these are just coming out now. So the center is a panel. It has a really wide pieced border, and then in each of the corners it has these pieced trees. So this was a really fun and fast project because that panel is the whole center of this quilt. I really just needed to make 4 trees and the borders, and it went together so fast. Here is this quilt. I have made one of their Christmas panel quilts before a few years ago. They had an earlier version where they released a bunch of panels like this, and I made it and my kids loved it. So when this new one came out, I thought, oh, I'll make another one because they will really enjoy using this at the holidays. So this panel is really pretty. They have a couple different versions. This is the one I chose with Santa putting a candy cane into the stockings. The pattern actually for this is a free pattern on their website. So if you go to the Riley Blake Designs website, you'll be able to download this pattern for free. It has all of the fabric requirements there and all the information that you need to make this quilt. So it was a really fun, quick project. The trees in the corners and the really wide piece border, I think it complements the panel perfectly. And I used a really one of my favorite pantographs here. It's an iCat pantograph, and I just love how it looks. The next quilt I made this month is another one of my new patterns. This is the Positive Side quilt. And actually, we are having a quilt along for this. It just started yesterday. There's plenty of time to join. It's a 5-week quilt along. I'm posting videos here on YouTube each week to show you the steps that you're supposed to do. And I'm also sharing on Instagram. I will link to the blog post too, which has the schedules. So this quilt comes together really quickly. It uses a layer cake, which is lovely because I always get requests for pre-cut patterns. And it has a mixture of large plus blocks and small plus blocks. This fabric that I use, I've gotten a lot of questions about it. It's beautiful. It's a new collection out from Riley Blake Designs called Petal, and it's just a beautiful floral collection. The colors are perfect they're warm and rich, perfect for fall. So let me show you this whole quilt. Here it is. I enjoyed making this so much. I love that it uses a layer cake. It gives you a ton of variety in the pluses. It's fast and it comes together really nicely. I use a lovely pantograph. This is the first time I've used this one. I'll put the name in the description below, but I love how it looks on this. And this was just a blast to make, and really it came together so quickly. Our quilt along is for 5 weeks because I've broken it up into quite a few steps, but I finished this one in 2 days. It was so quick and easy to make. The next quilt I made was a baby quilt. I used all half square triangles, and they finish at 4 inches, and then I put on a wide border, and I just think it turned out so pretty. This is a new collection that's due out this month. It's called Round the Mountain. It's beautiful. It would be perfect for baby boy quilts, even, you know, bigger boy quilts on their beds, and it's all train themed. It's adorable. So let me show you this whole thing. This came together really quickly as well. I just made a bunch of half square triangles. You know that I love the 1 at a time method, so I cut squares out, I cut them on the diagonal, and then I just chain piece until all the half square triangles were made. And I assembled them together, and then I put this wide border on, and I think it just turned out so cute. 2 more quilts to go. So this one was also an easy, quick one. This pattern is called Fat Quarter Pile Up. It's by Knot and Thread Designs. It's just large pieces of fabric sewn together in rows, and then there are half rows alternating between the full rows. It's really great for big, beautiful prints that you don't want to cut up and you really want them to be shown off. And this collection is a new one coming out this month by Riley Blake. It's called Flower Farm, and the prints in this are just so beautiful. Let me show you the whole thing. So here this is. It's quick and easy. It definitely needs to be steamed or washed and dried to get those wrinkles out, but I must have had it folded funny in the stack so it wasn't laying nicely. But this was so quick, so fun. These beautiful floral prints and large scale prints get to stand out really nice. To contrast with that, the collection has some small scale prints that kind of read as solids, and they look so nice together. If I get close, you can see some of the details in these prints. This floral is one of my favorite. It's got orange, pink, lime green, navy blue, turquoise, It's just a really fun, beautiful, beautiful collection. And the pantograph that I used here, I think it's called Flower Girl. I love this one. I've used it many times on baby girl quilt patterns, and it's just so whimsical and fun. I thought it would look beautiful on this quilt. One more quilt to show you, and this one was a long time coming. I cut this out probably last year, and I had it set aside, and then towards the beginning of September I came across the stack when I was going through and looking at my works in progress, and I pulled it out and I said, I gotta finish this now. It's actually a gift, so I really wanted to get it done. It is the Stripes and Stars pattern by Thimble Blossoms, and it was so fun to make. Now, I made it bigger than she has it in her pattern. I made it queen size, so I did 35 flags, and I arranged them in 7 rows of 5. Let me show you this whole thing. And here it is. Oh, I just love it so much. The fabrics that I gathered for this, they're just a mix of fabrics from my stash that are supposed to be a really light and faded, beachy kind of American flag look, and I just think they are so stunning. The sun's bright, so it's hard to get like a real capture of what this is, but it just turned out so pretty. So like I said, I did 5 flags across and I did 7 flags down, and that made it for me queen sized. The pantograph that I use is one that I've used quite a few times before. It's called Stack Snails. I love it. And for the binding here, I did white binding. I kind of wanted it to just fade right from the top into the binding. I didn't want it to be a separate color. So that was what I was going for there. And for the backing, I did a beautiful light blue with, it's like a white light blue and white stripe, and it's a woven, so it's really soft. And for the batting, I used a bamboo cotton batting, so once this gets washed, it's just so soft and drapey, and I really love this one. Like I said, I'm giving this away as a gift, so I think I'm gonna have to make one for my bed here. Next, the 2 table runners. So I can't actually show you those yet. I made 2 identical table runners. I was testing a pattern, and that pattern is gonna be shared on the Bernina blog, wealso.com, in October. I don't have an exact date, but as soon as I know when the post is available, I'll share with everyone here on Instagram and my blog, and I'm gonna be doing videos for each block in the table runner on YouTube here, and I'm really excited about this one. This is a series that I'm working on for them, and this is the first table runner in the series. I'll be releasing more table runners with them over the next year on their blog, and of course I'll always share here so you'll know when they're coming, but that's why I can't show you that one yet. I'll probably peek it into next month with just a little note that that was from September, just so you could see it here in a show and tell. Okay, change of scenery for this one. The last project that I made in September are these 2 wallets. So I'll link to this pattern below. It's called the Minimalist wallet, and there's 2 sizes. There's small and large, and they were really fun to make. So this one I used like a faux leather, and then these metal snaps, and it has this like curved portion here that you can stick things in. It has a back part, and then it also has a zipper, which is really handy. So that's a small size. And then I made the large size too, which has 2 snaps, and it gives you instructions if you're doing like the faux leather or cork, or if you're doing fabric for that first part. And then this is what the inside of the large wallet looks like. These are little sections, so credit cards or any kind of card, like a library card or something. The back is a big pouch, and then this one has a large zipper pouch. So these are really fun to make. I made both of them in just an afternoon. I'm kind of working my way up to other wallet patterns, and I thought these were really beginner friendly, so I didn't struggle at all. I read the instructions once and I felt confident enough to make them. I have this other wallet on my to-do list at some point, but every time I read those instructions I get intimidated, so we'll get there. These were my first step to making that. So that is all for this month. It was a really productive month. They're not always like this, but when they happen, it really feels great. If you have any questions on any of the quilts you've seen here, just let me know. And if not, I'll see you back here soon. Thanks for following along.